Hello, everybody. I hope this finds you safe and well, and everybody can see me okay. Just bear with me 1 second. I am going to try and share my screen. So hopefully everybody can see that okay. If you want to make the PowerPoint presentation bigger, there are 4 arrows in a wee square on the top right-hand side of the PowerPoint. If you click on that, it makes it makes it slightly bigger. When I'm in PowerPoint mode as well, I'm not able to see any questions or chat, but I will I will go back to the end just to make sure that I've answered any questions or any comments that anybody has shared with us. So thanks a million for all coming along to our mentoring session this afternoon. I appreciate the commitment that our mentees have shown so far with the training last Thursday and Friday, and then the session today. And this is as much an opportunity for you to get to know your cohort as well it is to find out some more practical information and the next steps in relation to the program. And I suppose from where I'm sitting, you know, this feels like a really long journey that I've been on and I've been talking about for a number of years. And as we're getting closer to the start where our mentors and mentees are going to be introduced, I'm getting quite excited about it all. And this is ultimately down to the investment that the National Lottery Community Fund have made. So thank you to our funder who saw the potential of this project and have invested in it. And again, thank you to you all as well. You know, we've been so delighted with the response to this program, and as most of you know now, we've received a fantastic response to it, with us saying unfortunately no to more folk than what we could say yes to. And I recognise that all of our mentees are fully committed to the program, and your support and encouragement and enthusiasm so far has been great. So just before we get into the detail of today, I've got some housekeeping. So we are recording this session, and it's just for a few of the mentees who unfortunately are either having tech problems or had meetings already in the diary that they couldn't get out of. If you could also do introductions in the chat as well. So you've got the chat function, you've got the list of participants, and you've got the Q&A. So any introductions that you want to put into chat, please do. Any comments as well as I'm walking you through the program details, again, please share them with us. And again, if you have any practical questions, then there's a wee Q&A column as well that we can use. I'm going to quickly run through the 6 high-level outcomes that we have set for this program, and it is important just to reinforce and remind you what those are. And you know, for us, this program presents an opportunity for transformational income change within your organisation, and there are 6 high-level outcomes that we have set as part of this program. So the first of those is to build and strengthen the income generation of leaders in the third sector, to build and develop the sustainability and resilience of charities in Northern Ireland, thereby protecting the key services that you all provide, to develop and implement an income generation strategy, building capacity and building knowledge and building confidence of the 30 mentees over the next 18 months timeframe. And also to carry out a strategic audit of the charity and the activities relating to income generation. So it's as important to look internally to make sure that your financial management systems in place, that your overall governance and financial management systems are as robust as they possibly can be. And this comes back to a couple of conversations that I've had with mentors who, whenever they'd gone into their organisation, had identified huge amounts of savings through money that was blown out the window because they didn't have the right financial management systems in place. So we want to look internally as well as externally. And then looking at the creation of a longer term view to income generation across and within the charity sector. And we're all on this hamster wheel, and you know, we keep talking about the fact that we don't have the headspace to look up and to look at a different income model. Whereas this program gives you that. It gives you the headspace, it gives you the mentor, it gives you access to training to do something very different and to become to develop an income model which is more sustainable for your organization. And then ultimately, and a big part of this program is the opportunity to cultivate that generous leadership model. So in 18 months' time, all of our mentors in this room will step up and take up the baton of becoming a mentor. So everything that you have learned, everything you're going to gain over the next 18 months, then you get to share that with a new cohort of mentees. And that's a really important aspect of the program. And I know that's something that you've all committed to doing and being. So in terms of our outcomes for today, we'll do a quick recap on the story so far, the milestones that we've reached, and then what happens next. We'll also look at some guidance, support, and tips that will help you to get the most out of your mentoring relationship. And then, of course, the next steps. And today as well is an important opportunity for you to get to know one another. So we've got just less than an hour. I'll spend the next 15-20 minutes walking you through the program, and then after that, it's an opportunity for you to work your way around the virtual room, moving around different tables, and introducing yourself to other mentees that you haven't had a chance to have a conversation with. There's a wealth of experience and expertise within the mentee group, and I can see this already through sitting in on the income generation training on Thursday. That opportunity to learn and share and connect with one another is going to be a really important aspect of today. So use this time today and work your way around the virtual room. For those of you who are not familiar with the Rainbow platform, when we go back into table view, if you want to move around to a different table, you literally just double click, hover over a different table, and then if there's a seat available, you'll be able to join another group and say hello to them. And we have 30 mentees now and 17 mentors, as well as other mentors that are in the bank. So the opportunity to meet and connect with everybody throughout the course of this program is going to be a really important one. So in terms of what we have done so far, so we've recruited our 30 mentees. Congratulations to all of you in the room. We have recruited 20 mentors, 17 of which we have matched up or in the process of matching up with the mentees. And I'll be sending you through either later today or by close of play tomorrow who your mentor is going to be. And there is that opportunity as well to mix and match, and that's an important aspect of the program. We did the meet and greet session last week, and it was an opportunity for you to see who else is in the room. And it was mainly mentees, but also a few mentors dropped into that session as well, which was great. And then we had the income generation training program that Roger Courtney delivered for us last Thursday and Friday, and the feedback on that has been really positive, as I knew it would be. And then, of course, today we had our information session for the mentors this morning, and now with our mentees this afternoon. And the plans then moving forward. So I hope to have all of the mentoring matches completed before close of play tomorrow. So be patient with me. You will be getting an email from me shortly. We've got the income generation training program. So it's a wee mini version that Roger's going to deliver specifically for the mentors. And it's as much to ensure that the mentors are on the same page as you in relation to the information and the resources that Roger shared as part of that program. And then the e-introductions will be done, and there's the opportunity to start that mentoring relationship from the 22nd of March onwards, which is next week. And then what we will do is we'll follow up with you all, with all the mentors and with all the mentees, either the week, Easter week, or the following week, to make sure that you've had that opportunity to meet with your mentor and just to check in to make sure everything is okay. And then the next training program that we have on offer is the financial analysis of your charity, and it goes back to the point where I talked about looking at the internal health check of your organisation in relation to the financial management. And Tony Clark is going to be leading on that session for us. And as part of that, what Tony is offering is a one-to-one. But I'll provide you with more information on that in the coming weeks or the coming days ahead. And then we have our 2 virtual meetups organised for both mentors and mentees on the 29th of June and on the 8th of December. So hopefully by then we'll be out of lockdown and we may be able to do one of them face to face. And again, just that opportunity to share with others who are on this journey with you and to get their insights and their experiences will be an invaluable part of this program. So nurture those relationships in the meantime as well. Now, what I was talking about doing was setting up a WhatsApp group for both the mentees and the mentors. And if that's something that you are keen on, then it's certainly something that we can facilitate. We're also going to set up a shared folder that lives in the cloud, and we'll have a range of different resources up there. And if there's templates or resources or information that you feel would be useful for the full cohort, again, if you can either have the ability to upload that directly yourselves or send it through to us, and then we can upload it on your behalf. So what we'll talk about now are just some tips for yourselves in terms of getting the most from the mentoring relationship. And I suppose that one of the most important aspects of this is for you to understand that you're in the driving seat, you're leading this relationship. The expectation to organise meetings, to follow up with the mentor, ultimately fall with you. They fall with the mentee. So it's really important that you understand that and take on that responsibility. You do not want to have your mentor following up with you. It's not the best interest of their time to support you. It's also really important to be clear about, the boundaries from the start. What is it that you want from this program? And ultimately, of course, we're all on the same page, and that this is looking at transformational change for your income model. But being really clear on setting those boundaries. And we have a sample mentoring agreement form, and that we'll send through to you, and we'll send those through to the mentors as well. And that sounds really formal. It's not. It's just some basic questions that you can run through and agree with your mentor at the early stage of the relationship, so that everybody's clear on what the structure and what the process is, right down to practicalities about, what's the best way to contact you? Is it email? Is it mobile? Is it a virtual meeting? So whenever you have that structure and system and processes in place, then it's much easier to manage. And it's, again, you can expand the boundaries of what you'd agreed initially, maybe 4 or 6 months down the line. But it's much easier to do that than try to install them halfway through the relationship. So we'll be sending you through that template, and that can be one of the first conversations that you have with your mentor. It's always really important to be open and honest as well. And this is a safe space for you with your mentor. And again, it's something that I stressed to the mentors this morning about the issue of confidentiality. There's a skill in receiving feedback and listening to feedback, actively listening to feedback, and they're going to be fundamental to for you to be completely open and honest with your mentor about what it is that you hope to achieve, where you see your vulnerabilities are. And there's no questions that are off limits. There's no such thing as a stupid question here. This is a safe space for you to speak with your mentor, to share your ideas, and for them to provide the benefit of their experience and expertise. The role of the mentor in this program, as in any of our mentoring programs, is that of a critical friend. So it's important that you're open and honest from the outset. And again, that comes down to confidentiality, and that confidentiality works both ways as well. So obviously you'll be sharing and potentially sensitive personal information in relation to your organization with the mentor. And then in turn, they'll be sharing with you as well and giving you the benefit of the mistakes that they have made along the way and the learning that they've got from that as well. So that confidentiality is really important. And then, of course, respecting the mentoring boundaries. So this is strategic support. And I hate that word, but I can't think of a better word for it. This isn't operational support. So your mentor is not there to write a funding application for you. They will offer advice, they will offer guidance, they will offer support. but they're providing the helicopter view. They are not hands-on, and they will not do the work for you. That is ultimately your responsibility. And as well, the decision-making process as well is, you know, the decisions ultimately sit with you. You know, the mentors will advise, they will support, but they cannot make the decisions for you and for your organisation. That will come down to you. That will come down to your chief executive and or your board. The mentor is there to guide and support and offer advice. It's also really important that you use your mentor as a good resource as well. You know, they have so much experience, they're fully committed to this program. So it's about making sure you get the most from that mentoring relationship. And of course, it's about protecting your time as well, you know, that you've committed to this mentoring relationship. And a few of you, through the conversations that I've had with you, you know, I've basically said that you've written in blood that you're fully committed to this program and that you're not allowed to leave. But it's about respecting that, you know, you have got a valuable space at the table. There were a queue of other applicants that really wanted to be part of this program. And it's also about being respectful of the mentor's time as well. So if you're cancelling short notice on a regular basis or on any basis, it just doesn't sit well. So it's just respecting their time and respecting your time. It's also important to highlight that this program, being part of this program, will involve taking risks, and if it doesn't, then this isn't transformational change. And it's about being open to that. Of course, as well, what we don't expect is that you're going to agree with everything that your mentor tells you or offers advice to you on. It's okay to challenge back. You know your organisation better than anybody, but they can come in with an objective view that you don't have. Some of their advice, some of the recommendations you may not agree with, and that's okay. And it's about having that open and honest conversation with them and being open to taking risks, because risks will be, and calculated risks will be an important aspect of the program. Flexibility is really important as well. You know, the relationship may be more time intensive at the start or the particular period of your mentoring relationship due to the project or projects that you're working with. We're okay with that, and ultimately it's up to the mentor and to mentee to make the best use of your own time. And for us as well, it's realizing that everyone is unique and there is no set script or process here. And ultimately what we said both to mentors and to mentees is use your instincts as well. And it's really important to work out an exit strategy. You know, so one of the benefits of this mentoring program is that we have 17 of our main mentors, and we also have some in reserve as well, who have a range of different experiences and expertise that we can bring in at different times. So if you feel maybe after 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 sessions with the mentor that we assign to you now, that you feel actually we're reaching a point in our relationship where I don't think I can get much more or I can give much more. So have that conversation early, and for us then have a conversation early with us as well, so that we can be in the background recognizing, okay, well, you know, the mentee's main mentor focused on legacy or individual giving. The mentee now has a plan in place, and it's an opportunity then for a different mentor with a different skill set, maybe a social entrepreneur background, whatever it may be, to step in. But we need as much notice as possible to help with that coordination. So speak with your mentor early and have those relationships and have those open and honest conversations with them. And maybe that could be an exit question at the end of each mentoring session that you have with them is there an opportunity to meet again? And if so, then what will we focus on? And that's something that the mentor will be conscious of as well. What we're saying as well is that mentees can only access one mentor at a time. There is, as I've just talked about, the opportunity to mix and match mentors through that notice and coordination support through ourselves. But overall, the funding that we've got, the budget that we have for you is 36 hours of support over the 18-month period, which works out on average about 2 hours a month. Use this time wisely. We'll also be sending you through a timesheet as well, and keeping in regular contact in terms of the hours of support that your mentor is using, and flag to you, at certain periods if you're being underused or overused, so that you're making sure that you're maximizing your time with your mentor. If you go over that 36 hours of support and the mentors come to us and then ask for financial support, we simply wouldn't have the budget for it. But it is something that we will manage, but we will need to be in regular communication with yourselves as well. It's also, and again, this is something that both mentors and mentees have come and asked. Meet with the wider senior management team or meet with the board, and that's absolutely fine. Obviously the main relationship is with you, but when you're looking at transformational income change, that responsibility can't just sit with you. There will be board decisions that have to be made. There will be other members of staff that will have to be involved in this transformation, this change management process. So it's really important that they're involved as well. So it's perfectly normal and acceptable that mentors use a couple of the sessions to engage with and speak with the board and other members of the senior management team. And again, I've just stressed again that the mentee is in the driving seat. It's your responsibility to lead this relationship. It's not the mentor's responsibility to be following up with you. Other pointers in relation to the mentoring relationship, and I've touched upon this already. So clarify your expectations. Be really clear about what it is that you expect from one another and what you hope to achieve. So from the conversations I've had with you all in the room, some of you are really clear and have a business idea or that is already in process and train. Others have a range of ideas, and it's just about pulling those ideas down and seeing what's feasible or not. But for you, it's just about what is it that you want to achieve from this program, and ultimately this is about transformational change in relation to creating a more sustainable income model for your organization. But what does that look like for you? What does that actually mean? And then drawing up the mentoring agreement. And again, we can send you through a template that both you and your mentor can figure out what's best for you. And as part of that, establishing a set of ground rules that you both abide by. Simple things like when and how you would like to meet. Well, obviously at the minute we're all meeting virtually. How long and how often, how are you going to record what was discussed and actioned, who's going to take responsibility for that? Most likely that normally sits with the mentee. And how will you remind each other of future meetings as well, and just your preferred method of feedback. And these are very practical and common sense questions, but it's really important that you have those early so that there isn't a breakdown in communication. And again, it's just that making sure that this represents value for you and value for your mentor. There is the chemistry factor that all the planning in the world we can't account for. So, with our main mentoring program, which we've been running for 15 years now, on paper, we have the perfect match between the mentor and the mentee. But if that chemistry, if that dynamic isn't there, then it's not going to work. And if that is the case, then, again, you'll know pretty soon. You'll know after 1 or 2 meetings. So please come and talk to us if that is the case. And then in relation to the first meeting, it's okay to be nervous. Your mentor is going to be nervous too, and it'll take a while just to build that relationship and build that trust, but hopefully that will come sooner rather than later. And it is about taking time to get to know each other. Share something about yourself, talk about why you got involved, what do you want to get from this mentoring relationship, and ultimately then, respecting and saying out loud, that what's said in this room stays in this room, and respecting the confidence and the information that your mentor provides to you, and vice versa, then you to your mentor. And ultimately then that helps to build that relationship and build that trust. So in terms of our mentors, I'm conscious of the fact that I've kind of kept our mentors to the side and haven't told you who's directly involved, though you got an opportunity to meet with some of them as part of the meet and greet session a couple of weeks ago. And I'm not going to walk through all of them now, but just from this slide, hopefully you can all read it okay. You know, there's a wealth of experience and expertise that we have in the room. And these are the main areas of expertise. So from corporate fundraising to big gifts, to social enterprise, to grants and to trusts and foundations, to contract tendering, to legacy. There's a range of experience and expertise that all of our mentors have. And chances are, you know, our mentee group is going to have to access, will want to access at least, you know, 2 or 3 mentors over the course of this program. So having those conversations with us early, and I have a better sense now of where you are and where I see the opportunities for your organisation. But again, at any time, drop me an email and give me a call, and we can walk through where you feel a mentor would add value to you. And then in terms of our mentees, you know, some of you met as part of the income generation training program last week. We divided it into 2 cohorts with 15 and 15, although it didn't quite work out that way over the Thursday and the Friday. And you know, I was speaking with a few of you over the course of the last couple of days, and already, you know, those relationships with other mentees are developing, and you know, the opportunity to share and learn and connect with others as part of this is going to be a big part of this journey. So, you know, use today to meet other mentees in the room, and you participate in the other virtual meetups that we've organised. So we've got one organised in June and one organised in December. If you feel there's value in meeting more regularly than that, again, please come and have a conversation with me. You know, for us, this is a pilot program, and what we want to make sure is that you get the most from this, because it represents such an opportunity, and we want to maximize it. And then this is another slide with the remainder of our mentees. So again, you know, a real eclectic mix of mentees that come from a range of different backgrounds, which is great. And you know, very often what happens is when you bring people together, you know, there could be business opportunities that develop, and that opportunity to for you to develop as part of this program, and those connections are really important. Thank you to all of you as well for completing the questionnaire, which will help us to evaluate the success of this program. And you know, what we plan to do, with your permission, is share the results of what you've shared, the answers that you've given to us as part of the evaluation with your assigned mentor, just to help them to build up a better picture of where you are and where the areas are that you want to develop as well. We also, as well, you know, and it comes back to that community of learning. So you've got the monthly meetups with your mentors. You have the virtual meetups we've planned for June and December. We can slot another one in if you feel that would be beneficial. And then access to that wider pool of experience and expertise. Something that we're going to do that I hadn't planned to do, and it was a suggestion from a couple of mentors in the session this morning, was I'm going to put out a pen profile of all of the mentors, just highlighting what their areas of expertise is, and then it'll be an opportunity for you, maybe not now because it's probably too early. And I think what's really important is that you develop your income generation strategy or tweak your existing one, and then from that you can say, yes, right now I really benefit from a mentor who has experience in social enterprise, but I can see the need for somebody with experience and expertise in corporate fundraising, because I see a real opportunity for us there too. So come to us with a more, when you have that plan in place and have those ideas down on paper, then we can have a better sense of what support you're going to need. And that having that access to a wider pool of mentors, I think is going to be really critical. We have the 2 training programs, one of which you've already done, and the one coming up in a couple of weeks' time, which I think you'll get huge benefit from as well, on the financial analysis. But we do have a budget to deliver other training programs. But we don't want to decide what those are. We want you to tell us. So, and again, I think it's just a wee bit early. But as and when, you know, you're developing your relationship and you're identifying where the gaps are in your knowledge or your skills base, come to us, and then we can develop training programs which then the full cohort have access to. And then again, you know, that community of learning and support about the mentee becoming the mentor, and that's a really important aspect of this program. So everything that you get to learn over the course of the next 18 months, then you get to share that with a mentee or mentees, if you're feeling brave enough, in 18 months' time. And you know what I've been saying to everybody is, you know, your commitment to this program will determine its success. No pressure. But it is about recognizing that we need your full commitment, guys. And this is a pilot program for us. We can see this, if this works, when this works, and I know it's going to work. And this could be an offering that we offer out to the sector on a continuous basis. So in terms of next steps, so over the course of this afternoon, this evening, and tomorrow, I'm going to be sending you an email outlining who your mentor is going to be. This may not be your mentor for the next 18 months. This may be your mentor for the first 4 months, 6 months, 8 months, and it will ultimately depend on what you need, and we'll tailor support to suit you. I'll send out a list of all the mentees involved and all the mentors involved as well. So again, you have access to that full cohort and know exactly who's involved. We also want to send some information to your mentoring. So the last 3 years of your financial accounts would be really useful to have. So we'll be following up an email asking for that. The impact questionnaire as well, with your permission, we want to share that with your mentor so that they have a better sense of where your strengths are and the areas that you want to develop. We'll also be sharing as well the information that you supplied on your register of interest profile as well. And then hopefully before close of play tomorrow, she says optimistically, we'll have done any introduction, if not tomorrow, by the end of this week, introducing you to your mentor, and then that gets the ball rolling for the relationship starting. So what we're going to do now, I'm conscious that I've been speaking for far too long, and a big part of today is an opportunity for you to get to know one another a bit better. And I've realised that my this slide's a wee bit skewed, but essentially this is your opportunity just to work the virtual room and to make a point of going and introducing yourself to somebody that you haven't spoken to before and who's involved in this program, who you are, your name, your organisation. What do you see as the biggest challenge and opportunity for this program? What does transformational change look for you in relation to your income model? And as well as that, you know, what support do you think that you're going to need from CO3 moving forward as well? So that's everything from my end. I appreciate it's a whistle-stop tour. We are recording the session, so if you're really bored and want to listen to it again, you can do. And for the few folk in the room that haven't been able to join, we'll be able to send this through to them as well. I don't think there are any questions, which is great. I'm off the hook. But what I will be doing is moving around the tables as well and coming over and saying hello. So if anybody does have any questions or any comments or any points that they may have, then please feel free to raise them with me. And if I don't get speaking to you today and you do want to come back to me on anything, then please feel free to follow up with me afterwards. So that's all from the formal bit. I'm now going to stop sharing and change from presentation mode back to the virtual